Over the years, since 2011, thorium has been considered the most popular mod, with Calamity joining that list in 2015. And while there are definitely other notable mods out there, none have been as notable as those two, until now. For years now, an amazing group of people have been working on the Starlight River mod, which is finally released and changes everything you knew about Terraria. That's why, in this video, we will be taking a look at Terraria's new best mod, also known as Starlight River. Before getting into this mod, let me first give you some context on it. From what I can tell, this was a mod that first started development back in 2020, with a demo of it being released not too long after in 2021. The demo was a huge thing for Terraria modding at the time, and still is to this day, which is why even before the mod had a full release, it became one of the most popular Terraria mods. Over the years, they have shared parts of the development on their Twitter and Discord, with it finally leading up to June 3rd, where we got our first official release of the Starlight mod. Although it's a full release, and it adds a ton of new content, it still isn't complete yet, with the Starlight content in this version not going past hard mode. Although that might not seem like a lot, as we will see, that is way more content than you would think, and the team behind Starlight has already confirmed that there are still many new features planned for future updates. And also, to be clear, since this mod is so new, there is no way I could possibly make a good guide on it now. So instead, this video will just be a showcase of the new features it brings to Terraria. Now that we know a little bit of the story behind this mod in this video, let's actually jump into it and see what it has to offer. This is a huge content mod that adds in a ton of content, most of which has never been done before in any other mod. To explain what I mean before actually diving into these features, we have cutscenes, custom animations for new weapons like a lightsaber, new world icons like this yellow tree with snow on it, new movement tricks like a dash, and much, much more. The first thing you're probably wondering about is the bosses, in which there are currently 3 that each have their own special cutscenes, ways to summon them, and their own insane attacks. Something that these bosses have, which most of the normal Terraria bosses don't, is each of them have their own special natural structures in the world, like the ocean temple in the snow biome and the huge castle underground in the desert. Most of these structures will have their own puzzles as well, with the ocean temple having a spirit you need to follow, and the desert one having a gear puzzle. To go along with these bosses, they added in a boss rush mode, which lets you get points based on how fast you can run through all of the bosses, so that's another thing you could do when you get bored in Terraria. There are currently 3 different boss rush modes with different levels of difficulty, and your high score will be saved and shown on each of them. And while not a boss, I also want to give this little guy the spotlight for a second, which is called a Magmite. I couldn't exactly find what they do, but you can't tell me you don't want one of them to be an in-game pet. Besides the bosses, the next thing you probably want to know the most about is the weapons, which is another part of Starlight that the developers put a ton of care into. There are lots of new weapons, with the first one we'll see actually being this weird-looking squid mount, which will shoot out amazingly animated tentacles when you left-click without holding a weapon. Aside from that mount though, we also have the Twisted Greatsword, which has this crazy animation where your character spins as you continue to swing it. Next up, we have the Pyroclastic Flow, which will shoot out a special orange liquid that has a cartoon look to it. After that, we have the Tenna Lance, which once thrown will make 4 spears in total come out of it, with their own special animation as well. The next weapon I found was the Jet Welder, which is a summoner weapon that can shoot out a flame like it's a blowtorch and summon a minion to fight for you. Moving on to a weapon and placeable item combo, we have the Breach Cannon, which is a turret that will constantly be firing a laser that you can control or set to a certain position. And for the final weapon that we'll look at in this video, we have the Overflowing Urn, which will, when used, make a big vase appear over your head that will spray a rainbow-like dust. And while that was the last weapon we'll look at in this video, know that there are many more crazy weapons in this mod, but those were just the ones I found to be the most interesting. For the next section of this mod, I thought we'd take a look at all of the new structures in the game. Besides the beautiful trees you see at spawn and the boss structures, we also have a few special shrines hidden underground. Once you interact with one of these shrines, it will light up either red or purple, and then you're locked in there and forced to survive until it's over, with some of these shrines making you fight enemies, and others just making things that you need to dodge. Once the shrine test is over though, you will be rewarded with amazing loot, and even give your player upgrades. Outside of those structures though, there really aren't any other ones that I could find at least, but I'm sure there is still some hidden around the map. Next, let's talk about the new movement system. While you can already dash using the ninja gear, this mod adds in a much better dash that requires no accessories at all, and is actually used to open doors and even start boss fights in some cases. To go along with the new dash, they also added an item that changes your swimming animation and gives you the ability to dash underwater. Another small neat feature I saw while messing around was these giant mushrooms which you can drop on, and the smaller ones who slowly move around. I'll stop talking about the new animations here, since I could go on forever about them. A good number of the enemies, bosses, and items all have their own special animations, but you'll just have to check this out for yourself. That wraps up our look into the Starlight River mod. While this mod isn't even fully finished yet, it's clear that it is shaping up to be one of the best mods in Terraria so far. If you made it this far into the video, be sure to comment Starlight to let me know, and also let me know what you think about this new mod. Thanks for sticking to the end. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Terraria videos like this in the future. And as always, make sure to have a wonderful day.